On the train back to Maine, Coco was really happy at least that Applejack told her how about she felt for Coco, and she was not even prepared for Applejack to say that. She was prepared for the Applejack would say that he would even like her the same way. But this, it was something that she wasn't even prepared for. But she was at least happy to know that Applejack loves her as much as she loves her. She was smiling and just looking out the window of the train to see the landscape changing from countryside back to the main city. For the next several days, Applejack was back at the Sweet Apple Acres working by bucking some apples, carrying some loads of apples back to the market, even talking to some friends. But at the same time when she was doing that, she was thinking about one thing, and it was Coco Pommel. She thinks that she had found her true special song pony, but she hadn't even told any other ponies about it except Verity, who already know about Coco's feelings for Applejack. And she even told her that Applejack told Coco how she felt for her. And Verity just was happy for her, but she promised not to tell any of their friends yet. Even they usually tell their friends something secret or a big news immediately. But Coco and Applejack have wrote some letters back and forward now for at least 2 days. And Applejack didn't want to tell their new relationship to their friends, except Rarity, of course. Since Rarity was the only one who was known about this, and she promised not to tell, even she tried not to hide this big secret from Pinkie Pie. But when Pinkie Pie noticed that Rarity had a big secret, she asked her, please, 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 tell me, tell me, tell me. But then Rarity said that she had made a Pinkie promise, which then Pinkie stopped doing to ask her, because she realized that breaking a Pinkie promise is a bad thing, and she knows that once that Applejack once lied to her and broke a Pinkie promise. So Pinkie then stopped to ask, and Rarity even told Pinkie not to look it up, not to make some sort of secret investigations to find out what the secret is. And Pinkie promised not to do it. And at least a while later, Applejack left Ponyville to go to Manhattan, since she has an aunt who lives here. So she decided to visit her family members there, but at the same time to visit Coco Pommel at her boutique. Coco was not prepared for Applejack to visit the boutique. She wrote that she was going to visit some family members in Manhattan sometime soon. Exactly when, because Applejack wanted to be as a big surprise. And Coco was really, really surprised to see Applejack at the boutique door. She was so happy that she hugged her and kissed her in front of all the customers and staff. But they didn't bother from it at all. So after Coco had closed the boutique for the day, she and Applejack spent the rest of the afternoon together. They went to a local restaurant nearby where Applejack lived with her family members. And at this restaurant, they both talked a lot about Applejack's old past stories, adventures, and even Coco told Applejack a little bit about her childhood, that she had to work a lot when she had this mean boss before she realized that her old boss was just using her for her talents. And during this dinner, Applejack then asked if Coco wanted to go out with her while she was in Manhattan for at least for several days more. And Cocos really wanted to do it. So they decided to go out to a movie. So they decided to go out the next morning, the next evening at 7 p.m. And the next day, Coco was working at her boutique nearly all day. She couldn't stop thinking about Applejack at all. Even Applejack, who was helping her family members at their own shop. She couldn't even stop thinking about Coco. And even she tried to focus on her work, but at the same time she couldn't stop thinking about her beloved Coco Pommel, since they have been together for at least a couple of weeks now, and they want to celebrate it together as a couple. Just before Applejack left Ponyville for Manhattan, she actually told her friends about this. And guess how much Pinky was so happy she actually jumped up and down, and threw a party for Applejack's relationship with Coco Pommel to celebrate. But Applejack didn't want this to celebrate it as a big deal, because for her, Coco is another true someone she really cares for. She would have done this even for her old friends as well. But Pinky, she wanted to do this since Applejack hasn't been this much in love in any pony for a long time. She had dated other stallions at least a couple years back and forward, from it was Caramel, it was Donut Joe, but none of them didn't last that long. She didn't feel the right connection which she does with Coco Pommel. Applejack had even dated Shirley for a few times, but she didn't feel the right connection there either. And the only pony who knows that she dated Shirley was actually Rarity. But during this time when both Applejack and Coco was working, they couldn't stop thinking about each other. But their love for each other was so strong, their bond was together was so strong that it couldn't break. But then, at the evening, Coco was waiting outside her boutique when she was waiting for Applejack. She waited and waited. She waited about 5 minutes before Applejack came. I'm so sorry, I'm late. The store took a little bit longer than I usually think. My father wanted to take, said Applejack back. It's okay, said Coco. Are you ready to go? Yeah, said Applejack. And they went to this movie. And they decided to choose to see a comedy, which they both really, really liked. Applejack and Coco was laughing all the time to this movie, and even afterwards. And after the movie was over, they were quite hungry, and Applejack asked if she wanted to go to this restaurant was just around the corner. And Coco said that she really wanted to eat something, so they went to this restaurant. But unfortunately, the restaurant was closed for evening. It closed but is an hour before the movie was over. So they decided to go to another place just closer, just more distant, even just a block away. And it was a small bar or small tavern or restaurant, some mixed ware, but they ordered hay burgers and salad. And Applejack even asked how she liked the movie. And Coco said that she really liked the movie. She hadn't seen that much good movies for some time. She had been so busy that she hasn't been on the movies for a long time. And she even asked if Applejack liked the movie. And she didn't actually like the movie. She often goes to movies with her friends or even her sister, Apple. She often tries to make some time with her family and some friends, some spare time, even though she works a lot at the farm or with her friends to protect Equestria from any danger or a friend who's in danger. But at least that Applejack knows that Coco really likes her, and Coco then realized that Applejack is so honest that she spent much work at the farm with, and even she can take breaks from all the work to spend some time with her friends and family, because her work isn't that much demanding. Even her, if her brother was been hurt or sick, she would take over his chores to make it work, even between her own and his, to make it work. But even she had to work a lot more harder to be more exhausted. But she likes to work, even she had to work a lot more harder than she usually do. And after they left the diner or restaurant was called, they went to where Coco Pommel lived, and it was quite late, and Applejack decided there was not worth it to go all the way back to where her aunt lives. So she even then asked if she could spend the night at Coco's apartment for the night, which Coco didn't mind if Applejack stayed the night with her. So the went inside her apartment, and she actually liked to see all this small apartment. Even if it was a small one, but it was actually kind of cozy there, with a window with views for the city, an open fireplace, everything. Both Applejack and Coco Pommel spent the rest of the night together at the fireplace. They actually made some s'mores and just talked to each other while they was eating their s'mores together. Applejack told us some funny stories which Coco couldn't stand to resist her, just to laugh about. After some time, they actually fall asleep next to the fireplace. And next morning, Coco woke up that Applejack was gone. She thought she had left the apartment, but she heard some noises in the kitchen. It was actually Applejack. She was actually up quite early, since she used to be up early, making her breakfast, pancakes, even some fruit salad, some orange juice. She wasn't even prepared to have a breakfast made by her own girlfriend. But Applejack said that she actually likes to make breakfast to even her friends or family, no matter what at the time it is. And they decided to spend the morning together before Coco had to go back to the boutique to open it. And Coco was actually happy to be there with Applejack. So for the next couple of months, they dated back and forward, even she was in Ponyville or in Manhattan. But their relationship remained strong, even after 7 years together. And when Applejack was happy enough, then she found that she had found her true love, and she wanted to spend the rest of her life with Coco. So when she was in Manhattan, she bought a ring. She was planning to propose to Coco, but after some time she decided not to do it, just to wait just a little bit longer, the next few days, because she was planning to propose to Coco during the fireworks show in Manhattan. That would be the perfect moment to propose to her. So they went to this fireworks show a few nights later as a date. And Applejack, she wasn't even nervous or scared. She was actually excited. She had waited several months to do this proposal to her beloved girlfriend. And during the show, she actually went down on a knee and then showed the ring to Coco, who was really excited, and she was so tearful eyes. Her eyes were so. She cried and said yes, 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 that she wanted to marry her. And didn't last long then when she actually returned, when Applejack returned home to tell the news. All her friends were so excited and even overjoyed by her true feelings for Cocos actually didn't come true, that she proposed to her own girlfriend. And even her family was excited. But unfortunately for Coco, she didn't have any family members alive. She had no brothers or sisters, and her parents had passed away. Least her mother passed away 5 years earlier, and her father passed away only 2 years earlier. And she wished to tell them that how their daughter was going getting married. They decided to hold the wedding at Sweet Apple Acres, where there was only place enough, big enough for the entire Apple family to be present. And after the wedding was held, since Twilight was asked to perform the ceremony and Spike was the best man and Rarity was, well, Coco's bridesmaid, they had this excellent work. And when they told about to her friends about the marriage, Pinky, she was so excited, so she threw a party after party after party, 3 parties at the same day. She was so excited. She even invited all ponies for celebrate, and everyone was so excited for their friend to be married. After the wedding, Applejack and Coco went to a tropical island resort for their honeymoon, and they stayed there for at least 3 weeks. And they had a blasting time there. They had a great time together, but after just 4 years of marriage, they wanted to have a family. So they asked Twilight to if they used, since she had learned a spell to help 2 mares to get pregnant. And Coco decided to be pregnant, and just several months later, she had a baby daughter. They named her Fashion Apple. And Fashion Apple, she was actually inherit her Applejack's strength and even and her mother's passion for fashion. When Fashion Apple was old enough, she actually started to help at Manhattan Boutique. Applejack then moved to Manhattan with her friends and with her family, but she often returned back home for several days, sometimes in a month, just to visit her friends and family. And their daughter also grew up to get married, and she had at least 5 daughters of her own, and all of them was actually interested in fashion as well, and also inherited their grandmother Applejack's strength. Applejack and Coco Pommel could never be more proud to have found their true love and to be married with each other, and even to have a daughter together. They couldn't be more proud of her, and even to have at least 5 grandchildren, they couldn't even be more happier for their granddaughters. And even all of them had the same fashion interest as their mother and their grandmother, but they often helped at the farm with the family so often as they could as well. And Applejack, she was more than excited and even more happy to have as a big family. And Coco, she believes that her parents would be more happy and even proud of her since she had found her special son pony and big family. This is how when Applejack and Coco Pommel found their true love and got a big family. The end.